Hey guys, Jake here, and welcome back to another episode of the F124 Driver Career Mode. Today we have my home race, the British Grand Prix, and obviously we love to do a little recap around here. So last time out in the Austrian Grand Prix we had a poor Q2, but we did have very good pace, and we were toe to toe with Max Verstappen for pace. We ended up getting the fastest lap in that race, but we weren't able to come through the pack. We ran out of laps. We got to P4. We had P2 in our grass, coming across the line only half a second behind P2. And then obviously they were still P3 level. They were almost overtaken on the line. That was Sergio Perez and Lando Norris, so we couldn't get them to. So that's unfortunate. But I have not very high optimism for the British Grand Prix. It's always a track where I'm not as good as the AI in the race, but the quali is normally quite decent. So we're going to have to wait and see what we can do. We did manage to get an upgrade, go on, in between this race and the last one. I'm not sure if I showed it at the end of the last episode though. But yeah, in practice one on the mediums, P9, not too shabby. And in the end, we end up getting ourselves 300 RND points, which is very nice. Getting our experience up to 62. So we now need to make some upgrades because, as always, if you're not making upgrades, you're going to go fall down the grid, aren't you? So we're going to have to go and make them right now and hope that they will be good enough to propel us up the grid and up there and have some pace for the next Grand Prix or the next few Grand Prix. So let's have a look through and see what upgrades we can buy. We have 675 RND points. So I think we're going to end up buying that front nose. It seems like the best upgrade we can do right now. And with all this development, we've actually made our chassis half decent now. So it's just the aero that we really struggle with, and our straight line speed's the best, like our powertrain's the best, and our durability's up there as well. So we have a very nice car now. We're getting better and better. The first lap in Q1 we got on mediums, set a 1:29.3, puts us nowhere. So we do need to set another lap. As you can see, we've dropped down to P20, which it wouldn't be ideal, as that would knock us out of Q1, which is not what we want at the home Grand Prix, because it's especially hard to come through the grid here with the lack of straight line speed and the overpowered slipstream and stuff like that the AI have. So we're currently 8.5 to 9 tenths up, should be, by the time we get to the next corner. We take this corner pretty much quite nicely, just need one lift off there, and you can take that corner for the rest of it flat. So we are 9.5, almost a second up. Now we just need to cruise it around the final few corners, and this should be enough to see us out of Q1 comfortably, up to the line, a little bit wide on that corner, only end up gaining 8.5 tenths, but it's going to be enough in the session to get us P6, and it is a 1:28.4. So remember that 1:28.4 is what we set in Q1 as our best lap time. So coming out to Q2, we are going to use a worn set of soft tyres, and up to the line on this worn set of softs, we are going to come across the line and set a 1:28.9, 5 tenths slower than Q1. But I'm going to let you guys listen in silence to this Q2 lap, as it is one of the best laps of the weekend.
Remaining in the session. We need a good lap here or we're out of qualifying. Come on.
So 1.2 seconds gained up to the line, and that is going to be enough to get us P2 in this session, which is great. Only half a tenth behind Max Verstappen, who is 3 tenths clear of the rest of the grid. So very good lap there. We set a 1:27.7, and on those worn tyres again that we set that first that final Q2 lap on. So here we come round the final corners. A bit of a jitter in the recording there, but we go wide in that corner. Obviously I expect to be a lot of time gained through the final lap, and we set a 1:28.8, which is not ideal. So, final lap of Q3. You might be wondering why I'm commentating over this and didn't commentate over the last Q3 lap. It's because that one was very, very good, and this one wasn't quite as good. As you can see, already making a mistake there. You know, it wouldn't be as interesting or as satisfying to be listening in silence to this lap when I'm sliding and I'm touching the grass and I'm overall having a really average lap. But we have gained 6 temps on this very average lap. Trying to not qualify temp, to be completely honest with you. So we're currently 3.5 temps up on George Russell through the first sector, taking this middle sector quite nicely, getting on the power nice and early. This sector, especially in the race, was one of the best I had compared to the AI. You know, obviously having better downforce, but they were just so good on the straights, I couldn't really do anything about it. Currently 5 temps up, coming into Mackett's and Beckett's. We go a little bit wide on that one, but it sets us up nicely to get a good exit out of this Mackett and Beckett corner. And we come out with 9 temps and climbing because of that good exit. So we should be okay and have a decent amount of time in the pocket. Let's see, we take that very nicely. Now 7.5 temps up. Let's nail this final sector because we didn't on the worn tyres laps. There is a lot of time to find here. A little bit close to that curb, run a little bit wide, but it's going to be enough to gain 8 temps on our previous best lap, which is a 1:27.9, I think. And the 1:27.7 I set in Q2 would have got me 1, maybe 2 positions, maybe P3. But yeah, and overall, not a bad session. We got now to 72 rating and 74 pace, which is nice. So, yeah, with Nico Hulkenberg starting P13 for my home race, I will be starting, due to grid penalties, not P5, P4, which is very nice. I think it is, I don't know, I think Verstappen was the one with the grid penalties, yeah. So, it's going to be a simple race. We're going to go do the medium soft. Everyone else is starting on softs, so this might be a mistake, especially because the alternate strategy doesn't work that often. So, here we are. We get a purple grid slot, 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. Don't ask me why the 5 red lights has been cut out. I have no idea, but we keep on nosing. There was a car trying to come on our inside there, but we had the right of way, so we end up colliding with Leclerc, but we keep the position. We're going to send it on the inside of Perez, obviously on a slightly cold mediums. We are going to get out traction by Sergio Perez, and he's going to squeeze us out and stop us from going around the outside. We don't have enough traction to do that, so we have to cede the position on this lap, which is unfortunate. Are we going to get put under the pressure by Charles Leclerc? No, not quite. But Perez is now within our grasps, which is okay. We just need to try to stick with him for as long as possible. Leclerc did have a little look, but we're just going to disregard that completely, squeeze him out so he can't make the move. Now, onto lap 2. Towards the end of lap 2, Perez has now got away from us, unfortunately, which means that we are now in a bit of trouble. And we almost gained enough time to get back in the DRS, but we slid, and also, this final 2 corners were awful for me. So now that we're out the DRS of Perez, we are now going to be under pressure from Charles Leclerc and George Russell, which is not what we want. As we get a really poor exit, we take that sector really poorly, feeling the pressure on our home race. We now have Leclerc, and now Russell's also going to try and make the move. I was alright to let Leclerc through, but not Russell. And Russell now sticks it up the inside of Leclerc. Those two are going to be battling. Leclerc's going to run a little bit wide. We're going to sneak up the inside and get past both Russell and Leclerc. What a beautiful move that is, squeezing Leclerc on the exit there. That is a beautiful move up the inside of them two. Quality stuff. And now, on the next lap, we have Leclerc coming for us again. Russell this time will not make the move. We are going to try maybe get a little switch back on Leclerc. Lovely. Russell is there, but he doesn't have the right to go for the move. We can just squeeze him out. And now Leclerc's trying to run us maybe a little bit wide. We're sticking on the outside of Leclerc. We just need to try and keep momentum. Here we come through the middle sector. Leclerc's just about going to be able to pull ahead. There's no point fighting that. We don't want to be going side by side through cops. That is not what we want at all. But now we should be close enough to Leclerc. We're going to have the DRS on the next straight. We just need to stay close to him through Mackett's and Beckett's, and we will be able to re-overtake Leclerc for P4. So let's see. Can we get a good exit? Yes, we do. We stick right behind Leclerc. Here we come on Charles Leclerc, using a little bit of ERS just to make sure we get enough speed to overtake him. We're now going to go down the inside of Leclerc. Down the inside. Lovely little move. And we get ourselves back into P4, but it's merely a few laps later now that Leclerc's going to try go side by side through cops. We're going to turn in. We leave him a lot of room, but he just sort of tries to squeeze us out there. And, you know, did we run off track slightly? Maybe. It didn't look like it, actually. But I don't know, maybe we did, maybe we need to give the position back to Leclerc. Are we going to do it? No, probably not, because, you know, he just kind of, I gave him so much space and he just kind of drifted over to where I wanted to be, or where I needed to be. But he's going to make the move back on us anyway, and we're just going to let that happen, because, I don't know, there could have been an investigation and potential penalty, but obviously not on the game. But, you know, I'm just trying to make excuses for why I let him through. Yeah, so we've now got Russell trying to make a move through cops, and I was like, no, we're not having a British Mercedes trying to overtake me through cops. That's not going to happen. And now we are right behind Leclerc again, looking to maybe make a re-overtake for P4. And as you can see, we were quite a bit faster, a couple times faster than the AI through Mackett's and Beckett's, which was quite nice. Normally, I'm not that quick in there compared to the AI, so it was quite nice to be quick. So let's see, we didn't have to even use much ERS, but we're coming up the inside of Leclerc, and I'm not going to get too excited because it's just a very, very simple move. And, you know, we squeezed him out, and now Russell's got past him as well, and Russell's trying to make a move into turn 1. Bit of a silly place to make a move, George, but, you know, if he wants to get us on this next straight, fair enough. But, like, I'm not going to let him through at turn 1. I mean, maybe I should have, actually, because then I could have got DRS on this straight. But either way, I would have been getting attacked on the hanger straight, so it doesn't really make a difference. But here comes Russell. We tried to use ERS to defend him. He's going to come anyway. Leclerc won't make the move, so we're going to try a little switchback. And we do, and it works. And it's a really nice switchback, but we get a little slide, and it's going to mean that Russell's able to keep the position. But now we need to try and make sure that Leclerc doesn't overtake us. He was side-by-side momentarily, but he's not able to make the move, and we need to try and get George Russell back. But coming on to lap 12, about to come on to lap 12, Russell is going to box in off his soft tyres. And look who's behind me, 2 seconds behind, Max Verstappen on the mediums, the same strategy as me. So that gives me an idea. He's so much quicker than me, so why don't we just let him past and try train him up until the box lap, and yeah, maybe we'll be okay. But the first mistake so far this race is letting the AI get an undercut on me. That was the first mistake I made in this race. Now, there's going to be some more mistakes though, as Verstappen's now right behind me. I think the plan is just to let him through after Mackett's and Beckett's, and then maybe try train him until we box for our sets of softs. Unfortunately on this game you don't get new sets of softs, which is unfortunate, so you know, it's a little bit upsetting that you don't get fresh sets of softs on this game anymore, but we get a poor exit out of Mackett's and Beckett's anyway, so Verstappen's just going to fly past. We will use a bit of ERS just to make sure he doesn't pull too far away, but as you can see, not going to be too much of an issue. And he's already almost dropped us. Like, we only just got DRS, he's already almost dropped us, but I know we're quicker through this sector. 9.5 temps behind, we were able to brake later, we were able to get on the power earlier, we get better rotation with our more downforce setup, and from being 9 temps behind him, we are now only 8, which isn't too bad. We get a temp through that sector on the quickest car on track right now. So, overall, not too shabby, but will we manage to stay in DRS? We should, because we are very good through that corner and through Mackett's and Beckett's, so we're going to stick with Verstappen as now Charles Leclerc is out of the session, and that will be beneficial because I think he was ahead of us, or was he behind us? I'm not sure. But here we go. It's time for us to make our second mistake, as Verstappen's going to box, but we are going to stay out for another lap, which is, yeah, it just, you know, allows the AI to get even more of an undercut. I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, that's going to be how it is, and we take the lead of the Grand Prix eventually, as now Sainz is in the box. But then on that lap, and we go another lap as well. This was the second mistake. Not boxing on the same lap as Verstappen was a bit silly. But then we get a 3-second time penalty and go another lap. So when we finally box, the AI, Max Verstappen's had a 2-lap undercut on me. The AI have had like a 5-lap undercut on me. And I didn't have amazing pace anyway. And now I've got a 3-second penalty. Mistake after mistake after mistake in this race could cost us a lot of positions. And, oh no, oh no, oh no, we've had a pit stop mistake, it's an extra 1.5 seconds on our pit stop time. Oh no, that could be costly. Alonso goes through, Piastri goes through, and now there's a big train behind Hamilton, Albon, Gasly, Ricciardo, Stroll and Hulkenberg all go through on me. Without that 1.5 seconds mistake, we'd be ahead of Stroll, I'd say, which means we'd have less cars to try get through in this train, but we've got to get our head down now on almost fresh softs and try and re-overtake Nico Hulkenberg, our teammate. We should be getting let through on team orders, but obviously team orders aren't a thing on the F1 game. So we get a purple middle sector. We're just going to fly past Nico Hulkenberg and make that move on the inside up into P13. We still have this 3-second penalty, so not only do we have to re-overtake this whole train, we then have to try pull away from this train, as now we've got the move on Lance Stroll to make, same as the Hulkenberg move, simple on the inside, and now we're up into P12. Very, very simple textbook stuff. And we then send it on Ricciardo. A little bit of contact made, but I am on the soft tyres. I just needed to send it at this point. The only chance I have is getting there to the front of this train with a lot of tyre life to be able to pull away. So now we have Pierre Gasly ahead of us. Need to make the move on Pierre if we can. We are miles back coming into this sector, but we are on softs. We are better through the sector. And look at this, we're able to just slide up the inside of Gasly, who jumps out the way and allows me to slide through, squeeze him out and be a little bit aggressively there. But now we are up into the points and P10. We now got Hamilton and Albon just ahead of us. Hamilton's on hards and Albon on the mediums. So here we are, 2 compounds better than Lewis Hamilton. Let's see if we can make a re-overtake on Hamilton. He's going for the move on Albon, but I don't have time to waste. I'm hoping these two will lose time side by side. We're going to send it up the inside of both of them, braking extremely late and hugging that inside with the grip we have on the softs, and we get the move done on both almost British drivers. Albon is tie Brit, so take it how you will, as now Lando Norris is out of the session, which is going to be a DNF that's going to benefit my position. We are now going to be up into P7, and look, we'd almost dropped Hamilton. And this race was really frustrating because we had the pace, we were pulling away to about 8 tenths, and then we just get drawn in on these straights because of the ERS and the DRS and the slipstream advantage of the AI. We just couldn't pull away. And now we've got Hamilton making silly moves on our inside at Cops. So I just squeezed him out, I gave him damage, I didn't care. He's now trying to go side by side through Mackett and Beckett. We give him a little bit more respect there. I respect the guts of trying to overtake at Mackett and Beckett. So now we've got to defend from him again. He's probably going to fly past us, but we aren't going to let it lie down easily. We're going to drain all the RS to try stay with Hamilton. We're going to have to send it back down the inside for any chance of staying in the points. And Hamilton's turned in, and we've got wing damage now. And that is race completely over. Not only are we bunched up now, that should be race over. But we're going to try go for the overtake on track anyway. And we're going to... Oh, no, we've spun it. Worst wing damage. We've spun it on the final lap of the British Grand Prix. We were going to finish in the points in P7. I know we would have dropped out because of the penalty, but it would have been nice for the pride as we go down the inside of Albon. Nice move, but I just get greedy on the traction. I get greedy with the traction, trying to maybe sneak a P10 if I can get some lap time. And in the end, with that error and that penalty, we're going to end up finishing P18, which is just shocking, really.
And Carlos Sainz sees the checkered flag and wins.
To overcome the difficult circumstances they face throughout this race today, Crofty, it's not easy, and it really shows a lot of maturity, and you can use this, you can draw on this as a driver moving forward and boost your confidence through the rest of the championship.
Here come our winners now.
Heyo lads, on the plus side, Max Verstappen finally didn't win a race, although he did recover to P3 in the end. We ended up finishing P18. Yeah, the last of the finishers. Not ideal, and that's really set us back in the championship. Alonso's pulled away, Leclerc's pulled away, Hamilton's pulled away, Perez as well. And now, you know, in the constructors, Aston Martin have now moved ahead of Haas again, which just isn't ideal. And not only that, because of that poor race, we lost our championship rivalry to Sergio Perez, but that's not surprising. We got put up against a blooming Red Bull. There's no way we were going to beat a Red Bull. Even I know it's Perez, so it's practically a fucking tractor anyway. But yeah, we did end up beating Sargent in our rating rivalry, which is quite nice. So, you know what, there's positives. And despite the fact we had an absolute rotter of a race, we're going to gain a lot of points overall, which is actually quite nice. So, I know we didn't get points this race. We probably should have. There was a strategy blunder, there was a pit stop blunder, and all of that stuff. But it just wasn't meant to be today at the British Grand Prix. The curse of the British Grand Prix continues for me on F1 games. So, unfortunately, no points today, no points for the team. But next time out is Spa, and I'm feeling quite confident for Spa because we're always quite good around Spa on F1 games. So, yeah, before the Belgian Grand Prix, we're actually going to get a successful upgrade come in. So I think they actually fixed the glitch where they would always fail. So you know what? There are some positives to take coming into the Belgian Grand Prix. I feel confident now, because I normally have pace compared to the AI, that even on 101 AI, I should do quite well at this Grand Prix as we get a gearbox thing come in as well. But that is going to be all for this episode, guys. Thank you for watching. We made some great moves today. Unfortunately, I'm talking like I'm doing like a press interview. But yeah, unfortunately, just the penalty, really. The penalty, the pit stop, and the poor strategy. We did have some decent pace, to be fair, but it is what it is. That'll be all for this episode. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait for the next episode. It's crazy.